All right. Today is hydraulic dovetail day. What I'd like to go over with you today is a little history on hydraulic dovetails. Then also, I want to show you the current design at Diamond C, some of the variations in it, what can be had, how it functions. So the history of the hydraulic dove, it's been probably about 15 years since it really made its entry into the market. Was a little bit of a slow adoption. Everybody was used to the big heavy ramps, and it was more moving parts, and it took a little while to really be adopted. Has gained in popularity over the years, there's no doubt, just because the simplicity of pushing a button, the dovetail lower and down versus having to flip the big ramps. For Diamond C, we started in probably 2007 or 8. Our first hydraulic dovetails hit the market. Good, strong design, nothing wrong with it. And then ran that design up until 2018. So next we will review the standard one, then we'll show you some variations of it. So let's get to it. So the first one that we're going to look at is our standard hydraulic dovetail configuration. And the standard one is the same 12 foot, but it's got blackwood integrated into it. I'm just gonna have to change light here. Gonna get dark. You can see we've got the 5/8 square stock cleats up here. Got blackwood for traction in the center. Don't you love that when that happens? At least they're getting replaced. And it's got your approach back here that's got the 5/8 square stock. So this provides good traction up the dovetail of the trailer. The blackwood is standard. If you've ever seen it, it's rubber infused lumber. It's still a treated lumber board, but it's planed out in the center, and it's got a 1/4 inch thick piece of rubber infused into it or glued into it for traction. Really cool stuff. So this is the standard on this SDX, the standard style hydraulic dovetail. We've got two other variations, one of them being full steel runners with cleats, which we'll look at next. Then the last one is full steel runners, no cleats. Let's go take a look at them. All right, guys, we found one. So this is probably a 35-foot hydraulic dovetail, F-Max 212. It's got 14-ply tires. This one is the full steel runners with cleats. So earlier you saw the standard is got the cleats right at the end, got the cleats up top with blackwood. So this is alternative for more extreme traction. You can see it's got these little 5/8, the sun's in the way, 5/8 square stock cleats that give you a good bit of traction, coming up it, especially with rubber tired equipment or rubber tracked equipment. This option is kind of like cheap insurance for good traction. So it's hard to beat. Let's go take a look at another one. So I found the next variation of hydraulic dove to show you. This is the full steel runners with no cleats. The last one I showed you, like we just saw, had the square stock traction cleats. This one is smooth. Just the steel runners on the outside, 3/16 thick, the same material, just delete the cleats. This is also available on the website. Some guys like it just because it is more seamless. If you've got low profile equipment, they don't like the bumps across those cleats. This, and it is still smoother even than the wood floor, because the wood we looked at earlier has the cleats on the end, then wood, then more cleats. And so this is a nice smooth loading transition all the way up to the deck. Moving on to the function of the hydraulic dove. Back when we were talking about the history earlier, the 2008, 2009 up to 18, that dovetail was rugged, it was solid, it worked, but there were some things that definitely could be improved about it. When we set out to build the best hydraulic dovetail on the market, at the same time we were launching the engineered beam, there was a couple of things we took into consideration. User experience, number one, between how it functioned, the old style, and then also the load angle was a huge deal. So on the old one, the hinge for the hydraulic dove was actually behind the tire. It was only 9 foot long. This one's 12, and this hinge is right on the front side of that tire, giving you a 12.5-degree load angle versus the old one at 9 foot only being a 14.5-degree load angle, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm gonna tell you what, if you've ever loaded like a skid steer or loaded, especially like a scissor lift, up a dovetail that's 2 degrees different, it's a seat of the pants difference is huge. Like so much more comfortable loading on this one than the old styles. So that's one thing to think about. If you're looking at hydraulic dovetails, really consider the length of it, because the length of it is the load angle. The longer dovetail is going to be a better load angle. So, and with how we put the hinge, a lot of guys are, oh, that means there's a lot more tail swing. Well, putting the hinge on that front side of that back axle actually means the tail swing is about the same as the old one. It's not some crazy amount. So it actually still pulls really good and lets you distribute the weight as it should. So, and the second factor on usability was the old one, you had a real mechanical slide lock where you had to raise it just past level, slide this lock in place, let it down. It worked, but it was just cumbersome because you couldn't easily work it from the cab of the tractor or whatever equipment that you were on, or the vehicle. You had to actually get out and do something. And so we thought, man, we could make that so much better. So this new 12-foot version has an auto locking mechanism. It's like an over-centered latch. If we remove these boards, you could see it right there, but it is right inside there. So once it comes up, it comes down and latches, and you can hear it just, and then you don't have to get out and do with any mechanical latches. So we're gonna show you that functionality right now. It comes with a KTI pump. All hydraulic dovetails come with this KTI pump. This one happens to run the jacks and the dove. Right now we have it pointing, you can see it's pointed back. That means we're on dove mode. It comes with a 2-button corded remote that's tied into the system, and it also comes with this handy dandy wireless control. We do that so that you can load the equipment from the seat of your equipment and you can raise yourself up. It's just very nice to have, but if you were to lose it for whatever reason, you have your corded one. On the wireless control, we get this question a lot. These go to sleep, so that if you put it in your pocket, it doesn't go off going down the road, they go to sleep. If it ever goes to sleep on you, you press both buttons for 7 seconds, and then it wakes it up, and you're good to go. So you can see, pressing down, the dove comes up first. It's gonna go just there past level a few inches, and then it starts its descent. You can hear the pitch change in the pump. All the way down. And now we're gonna go back up. You keep holding the up button, it's gonna go all the way past level. You'll hear the pump. Just past level. The pump will bear down once it goes back down, and then we will be locked out. Right now the latch mechanism is latching. Boom. You hear the pump start bearing down. That means we are there.